Patuloy na iginigiit ng China ang historical rights at claim nila dito sa South China Sea, dito sa Manila Dialogue mga tol. Pag-usapan natin ngayon yan.
I'm just a young nigga chillin' on it. First time I seen ice was a
Alright mga kapatid, welcome ulit sa ating bagong video, reaction, review, commentary, opinion, criticism at kung ano-ano pa. Matagal ng issue mga kapatid itong agawan ng teritoryo sa West Philippine Sea. Pero alam nyo ba, nagsimula mga kapatid ang laban ng Pilipinas sa China sa isang makasaysayang talumpati noong 2011. Isang matapang na pahayag ni dating Supreme Court Justice Antonio Carpio ang nagpasimula ng kampanya ng Pilipinas laban sa China sa International Court. Nakalaunan, alam nyo naman mga tol, nanalo tayo 2016 Arbitral Award. No, so ngayon sa video natin mga kapatid, pag-uusapan natin yan dahil ito rin naman mga tol ang tatalakayin dito sa ating panonoorin mula rito sa Taiwan Talks. Sabi nga rito, China pushes historical rights claim on South China Sea. So eto mga tol, panonoorin natin, bibigyan natin ng reaction video, samahan ninyo ko. Pero bago yan, huwag niyong kalimutan mag-subscribe. Click nyo na rin ang notification bell para ma-notify kayo whenever na may mga bago tayong reaction video tulad nito. At syempre kung ikaw naman ay nanonood sa Facebook page, huwag nyo rin kalimutan mag-follow. Nasa 120,000 na tayo mga tol. Maraming salamat. At dumadami lalo ang mga Pilipinong nagiging aware na sa ipinaglalaban ng Pilipinas dito sa karapatan natin sa West Philippine Sea. So wag na natin patagalin pa. Panoorin na natin to mga tol.
Happy by appearing on Taiwan Talks today. They've mentioned your name in comments many times. I want to start with the historic speech that you made at Ateneo de Davao University College of Law in 2011, which effectively launched your campaign for the Philippines to seek international arbitration on the West Philippine Sea. And you said this battle to defend our EEZ from China, the superpower in our region, is the 21st century equivalent of the battles that our forebears waged against Western and Eastern colonizers from the 16th to the 20th century. It is modern-day battle. The best and the brightest legal warriors in our country today must...
So, kay Justice Antonio Carpio pala mga tol, nagsimula, no? Yung laban natin mga tol. Dahil sa kanyang pagpapahayag mga kapatid, ito yung legal pero makabagong pakikipaglaban para sa ating karapatan. Sabi niya nga gano'n, no? This battle to defend our EEZ from China, the superpower in our region, which is totoo naman, is the 21st century equivalent of the battles that our forebears waged against Western and Eastern colonizers. From the 16th to the 20th century, in this modern day battle, sabi niyang ganon, the best and the brightest legal warriors in our country today must stand up and fight to free the EEZ of the Philippines from foreign encroachment. Ang problema mga tol, napanalunan na nga natin yan 9 years ago, pero hindi pa rin natin natatamo mga kapatid, yung talagang totoong tagumpay. Diba? Oo, tagumpay tayo sa papel. Diba? Pero hindi pa rin natin nahahawakan yung tropeyo. Diba? Kasi mga kapatid, magpahanggang ngayon, nawa-water cannon tayo, itinatabo yung ating mga mangingisda, wala, hindi pa rin tayo malaya diba?
Stand up and fight to free the EZ of the Philippines from foreign encroachment. And in your book, you say this Chinese aggression is the gravest external threat to the Philippines since World War II. So I wanted to ask you, Justice Carpio, why have you framed it in this way?
The South China Sea dispute, the encroachment of China of our exclusive economic zone and island territories in the West Philippine Sea is actually the gravest threat facing the Philippines in these modern times. And you have to compare it to the great invasions that visited the Philippines during the colonial period and during World War II. So this is a threat that my generation is facing today. And we have to face it the same way that our forebears faced the invasions that they encountered during their time.
Yun nga lang mga tol, yung mga makabagong Pilipino ngayon, hindi na tulad nung mga sinasabi niya nga forebears. Diba? Kasi mga kapatid, nung araw, talagang ang mga Pilipino nagkakaisa. Do, alam nyo, meron din mga makapili, meron ding mga taksil, pero kung makikita ninyo mga tol, talagang handang ipaglaban ng mga Pilipino ang ating bayan mula sa mga mananakop. Ito na yung makabago na maihahalin tulad din natin sa mga nangyaring pananakop nung araw. Diba? 300 years tayong sinakop ng mga Kastila, tapos mga Amerikano, tapos mga Hapon. Diba? Meron tayong mga bayani na lumaban. Yung mga Pilipino talagang, alam niyo yun, handang ipagtanggol ang ating bayan. Pero ngayon mga kapatid, nagkakaroon ng division. Diba? Nagkakaroon dahil sa politika. Dahil sa politika mga tol. Tuloy natin.
Bill, if I could go to you, let's get to the biggest underlying issue in the South China Sea, which is China's claims that its so-called historical rights override all exclusive economic zones of the coastal states. Let's take a look at the Chinese delegates' remarks on your panel at the Manila Dialogue. Watch.
So ito, panoorin muna natin yung claim nitong Chinese representative dito nga sa Manila Dialogue.
More than 2,000 years ago, our Chinese ancestors began navigating the South China Sea and learning about it through maritime activities, discovering and naming the South China Sea islands. At least since Tang and Song dynasties, China began to administer the islands and nearby waters of the South China Sea. They are all recorded in the rich and reliable records of China throughout the history.
So sabi rito mga tol, kasi syempre medyo malabo yung English nila, di ba? 2,000 years ago mga kapatid, nagna-navigate na sila dyan. Sabing ganon, pinangalanan na rin daw nila yung mga isla dyan. Ito nga yung sinasabi nilang historical claim, historical rights. Dahil matagal na daw silang nagna-navigate dyan, matagal na daw nilang ginagamit etong karagatan na to, which is tinatawag na ngayong South China Sea. Yun ang kanilang pagmamatwid, kaya sinasabi nilang meron silang karapatan dyan dahil 2,000 years mga kapatid, kita mo naman kung gaano katagal nun. Ano na ba taon natin ngayon? 2025, 2025 years mula nung nagkaroon ng petsa. Di ba? 2025 years mula nung nagkaroon ng petsa. Sa kanila, Song Dynasty pa daw. Alam niyo yung mga sinaunang panahon pa. Ganon na daw nila katagal na ginagamit itong karagatan na to. Kaya talagang meron silang karapatan dyan. Yun ang sinasabi nila mga tol.
Bill?
Well, I mean, I find that whole narrative, kind of fantastic, really. I mean, the idea that
fantastic,
2,000 years ago, Chinese sort of people were naming these islands and administering them is preposterous, really. I mean, the names that are used by Chinese authorities today to describe the islands were given during the 20th century, by and large, and some of them, ironically, even honor the names of, for example, English managers of the East India Company that's just been translated into Chinese. For example, Money Island is named after a man called William Money. And going back, I mean, the South China Sea for centuries, for thousands of years, has been a shared space where fisher people and traders from all around the sea and beyond, from the Middle East, from India, have traveled across the sea for trade and for fishing. And all the other activities that we do at sea, piracy sometimes. So the idea that it was any one state's domain, I'm afraid, is just a silly reading of history.
Ibig sabihin mga kapatid, hindi lang China ang bukod tanging gumagamit ng karagatan. Tulad nga nung sinabi niya mga tol, for over centuries, 1,000 years ago mga kapatid, di ba? Meron daw mga fishers, traders ang gumagamit na niyan mula sa iba't ibang mga bansa. Hindi lang China, hindi lang bukod tanging China lang mga tol ang gumagamit nun. Pero ang nakakatuwa mga kapatid, sila lang yung umaangkin doon sa kabuuan. Di ba? Kumbaga, merong isang bakanting area, ginagamit naman ng lahat yan, tapos biglang mo sasabihin mo, matagal na akong pumupunta dyan, amin yan. Di ba hindi pwede kasi hindi lang naman ikaw yung gumagamit niyan for so many years o kaya for napakatagal na panahon, 1,000 years ago. Sabi nga ganun, mga pirate pa nga, mga pirata, mga fishers, mga traders mula sa mga Middle East, India. Alam niyo, iba't ibang mga bansa na ang gumagamit niyan. Hindi lang kayo, kaya hindi niyo pwedeng sabihin yung historical claim, historical rights na matagal na kasi namin ginagamit niya, matagal na kami nagnanavigate dyan. Diba? Hindi pwede yung ganong kadahilanan lang.
Now, Justice Carpio, if I can go back to you, your research reaches back centuries as well, before the Common Era, and you've gathered lots of Chinese evidence to prove that China didn't control the South China Sea and actually spent most of history ignorant of the existence of, firstly, the Paracel Islands and then the Spratlys. But I wanted to deal, if possible, with two things that China tends to use to claim sovereignty, and that's the name, the South China Sea, and also Nine Dash Line. Could I get your assessment of those two?
Well, the name South China Sea was coined by Portuguese navigators when they reached the South China Sea to distinguish the South China Sea from the East China Sea. This was not coined by the Chinese. The Chinese South Sea, not South China Sea. All the ancient maps of China were published by the People's Republic of China in the 3-volume book, the Atlas of the Ancient Maps of China. And in all those maps, the southernmost territory of China was Hainan, without exception, from way from the Song Dynasty to the last dynasty. China moved out of Hainan only in 1932 when France seized the Paracels. China protested, and China said that the Paracels constitute the southernmost territory of China. But several years later, in 1947, China claimed the Spratlys, which is further south of the Paracels. So China's been claiming through what I call a creeping invasion from Hainan to the Paracels to the Spratlys.
Yeah.
So nung una mga tol, yung South China Sea, pinangalanan yon ng isang Portuguese daw na manglalakbay para distinguish lang yung karagatan sa south bahagi ng China, no? Pero hindi ibig sabihin sa China yon, no? Hindi yun bahagi ng China. Ang pinakabahagi lang talaga daw ng China yung Hainan Island, no? Hanggang sa unti-unting gumagapang na mga kapatid yung kanilang claim. Nagsimula dun sa Paracel na hanggang umabot na dun sa Spratlys. So ganun daw ang ginagawang pananakop ng ginagawa ng China. Hanggang 1947 mga tol. Yun na nga yun ng mga panahon na ginuhitan na nila eh. Ginuhitan na nila ng 10-dash line pa noon eh. Tapos 1950 ginawa na nilang 9-dash line. Kaya maganda yung mga ganito kasi yung mga pinakikinggan natin, katulad na lang halimbawa nito, sila yung talaga yung mga nag-research. So tayo mga Pilipino, meron tayong natututunan para alam din natin kung ano yung ipinaglalaban natin, di ba? Hindi kasi tayo pwedeng sigaw ng sigaw. West Philippine Sea, teritoryo namin yan. Hindi yun teritoryo natin mga tol ha. Ang 12 nautical miles lang ang territorial waters natin. Yung up to 200 nautical miles, hindi natin teritoryo yun. Exclusive economic zone natin. Mayroon tayong karapatan doon, mayroon tayong jurisdiction, pero hindi siya natin teritoryo. Kaya para mas malinaw sa lahat.
And Justice, reading your book, I see that actually even before the Portuguese, the sea was actually known as the Champa Sea. Is that correct?
Yes, before it
Champa
was known as South China Sea or South Sea, but the Chinese, the South China Sea is called the Champa Sea
Champa
because
Sea pa.
of a powerful maritime kingdom established by the Chams in central Vietnam. The Chams were Austronesians. These are the people who went out, immigrated out of Taiwan. They populated central Vietnam. They populated the Philippines all the way to Indonesia, Melanesia, Polynesia, and peninsular Malaysia. It was the widest migration by sea of people in history. And the Austronesians were masters of the South China Sea. They crisscrossed the South China Sea all the time. So, and before the Chinese empire reached the South China Sea, the Chams were already the masters of the South China Sea, the Austronesians.
Pero mo may nauna pa pala, no? 'Di ba? Bago yung imperyo ng China makarating sa South China Sea, hindi pa South China Sea yung tawag nun. Ano pa? Yung Champa Sea pa ang tawag doon, mga tol. Pinangalanan lang naman yun ng isang Portuguese na manlalakbay nga para distinguish nila na itong karagatan na to is nasa South Sea ng China o nasa south na bahagi, timog bahagi ng China. 'Di ba? Kaya pinangalanan na ganoon. Pero hindi yun pag-aari ng China. Hanggang doon lang talaga sila sa Hainan Island.
And if I could go back to Bill. Bill, if we can talk about the 9-dash line. I mean, your research also says the same. Essentially, the Chinese before the 20th century didn't really claim the South China Sea. Tell us how the 9-dash line came about.
Eto, maganda to para malaman nating lahat.
Yeah, the 9-dash line specifically was only published in 1947
1947 lang na-publish.
by what was then the Republic of China. And it was the result of meetings after the Second World War. Because there was actually a great deal of uncertainty in China at the time about exactly where its borders lay, and that was for many reasons. Because you'd had half a century of disruption following the emergence of the Republic of China in 1911, 1912. And you'd had attacks from Japan, you'd had the fact that Tibet and Xinjiang and Mongolia had broken away, and that kind of thing. And so the whole border was in a state of flux. And so meetings were convened after the Second World War. Where are our borders? And this is entirely the opposite of the way that China presents it today, which is that the borders have always been the same and always been fixed. So you had these meetings, and they employed geography professors to decide which islands to claim. And they claimed them, interestingly, just using the translations of Western names. So, for example, Vanguard Bank off southeastern Vietnam just becomes Chanwei in Chinese, which is the Chinese equivalent, or Haimatan, which is Seahorse Bank. The name is exactly the translation from English into Chinese, just off the coast of the Philippines.
So may mga pangalan na talaga yung mga yon. Translate lang nila. Hindi nila pinangalanan ha. May mga pangalan na talaga yon. Translate lang. So kumbaga ginamit lang nila yung salita nila pero hindi sila yung nagpangalan.
And basically, looking back at the work of some of these rather amateur geographers of the 1930s, they came up with this line, which stretches all the way down to the James Shoal, almost on the coast of Borneo. And the James Shoal itself doesn't exist as an island. It's an underwater feature. It's 22 meters below sea level.
Ooh.
So bringing you in, Ronan, Bill just mentioned there the original 9-dash line did come from the ROC, which is Taiwan. And our viewers sometimes see a disconnect then in Taiwan talks, or Taiwan supporting the Philippines in the West Philippine and the South China Sea, and saying essentially Taiwan claims Philippine territory as well. What do you say to that?
Yeah, so I want to actually make a strong case that it's more important or more vital to acknowledge Taiwan's position right now. As a modern democracy, what we really want to show the involvement of our position. Right now, our government's official policy is that we support the peaceful resolution of all the disputes based on what? Based on international law. And
Actually mga tol, putulin ko lang saglit ha, pasensya na. Kasi mga kapatid, meron ding claim ang Taiwan. Nag-o-overlap yan doon sa claim ng Pilipinas. No? Pero tingnan nyo, wala naman tayong problema sa Taiwan di ba? Kasi ngayon ginagawa natin totoong peaceful resolution. Hindi yung salita lang. Ang problema kasi mga kapatid dito sa isang kapitbahay natin, panay sabi sila peaceful resolution, dialogue, pero pagdating dun mismo sa karagatan, masyado silang mararahas. Masyado silang agresibo. Kaya nagkakaroon ng problema. Diba? Kasi pagkatapos ng mga pag-uusap, pagkatapos ng mga dialogue, pagkatapos ng kamayan, pagdating sa karagatan mga tol, wala pang isang linggo, nang bobomba na naman sila ng water cannon. Diba? Yun ang problema natin sa kanila Diba?
in particular, the UN clause. So I think right now the most important distinction is behavior. We hope that we can demonstrate to the world and to Philippines in particular that you have to trust us because look at our behavior. Right now we are not using the historical facts or historical claims.
Yeah.
It's also a different political administration that has been in Taiwan for 3 terms now. That must make a difference as well. And I guess
Yes.
what you're saying, from what you're saying, is there's a difference between sort of de facto and de jure. So de facto, what we do in practice, which is that Taiwan only claims a couple of those features from history.
Alright mga kapatid, no, maraming salamat sa inyong panonood mga tol. Panoorin natin to sa part 2, mga kapatid. Gawan pa natin to ng part 2, no? Para mas marami pa tayong matutunan, mas marami pa tayong malaman, matuklasan, no, sa ating history. Siyempre, kung ikaw meron kang ipinaglalaban, meron kang karapatan na iginigiit, dapat alam mo rin kung ano yung pinanggagalingan para hindi tayo nagmumukhang mangmang, di ba? So hanggang sa muli, mga kapatid, ako nga pala si Shobal D. Peace out.